Welcome back to episode 18 of the Shift Points podcast. We have the original crew back today. I'm Jake Freeman.
Win Hasselhoff over here.
Win Hasselhoff. Win the unseen, because we've been gone forever. And
Jackson
Boone.
Jackson Boone.
Yeah, Wynn's been gone.
Make up a last name if that's what you want to do, like he did.
Dorman.
Jackson Dorman?
Dorman.
Oh, I thought you meant like doorman, like Doorman. No. I was like, that's a weird last name. Okay. Well, we have been missing in action, that's for sure. Wynn was gone for a couple weeks. Toby had things going on. I had things going on. So anyway, last week we completely missed it. And then this week it's getting pushed back. So it won't go out till Thursday morning. But we're back. For better or worse, I guess.
We'll see how it
And
goes.
it's the original crew. Toby couldn't be with us today. I think Toby maybe has a big boy job now. So I think he's going to struggle to get here. So it might just be the three of us for a good while, and then whoever else that I can talk into coming on here. So that would be good.
We can probably find somebody to con into coming on here and jabbering for a few.
Jabbering. Yeah, we better careful. We're jabbering too much already.
No, what was that they said? It wasn't gibbering.
Gibbering. Yeah, we're gibbering too much. So anyway, what you guys been doing? How was Oregon?
It was okay, but I'm glad to be home.
2 weeks. That's a long
2
time
weeks
to
was a
be
little
anywhere.
long. Yeah, in a tent.
In a tent?
Yeah.
You were camping that whole time?
Spent 2 nights in a apartment. That was it.
2 nights of the 14 or
Slept
15
in the
nights or whatever.
front seat of the car 4 nights.
Wow.
Because I was sick of sleeping in a
That's miserable.
freaking tent.
Why? Why did you guys do that?
Yeah, it
I
sounds
don't
terrible
know.
to me.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely. I didn't know that, because that would have been way more like,
Dude,
just don't do that.
I
man.
was
Why
so
would you
happy
go
to
do
come
that?
home.
Yeah, I imagine so.
I don't know why you went in the first place.
I would have never gone.
I didn't know it was going to be like this, but
You didn't know you were camping, or
well, I knew we were camping, but man,
in the Pacific Northwest.
yeah,
That's
which is pretty, but
it's a temperate.
1 week would have been okay.
yeah.
2 weeks.
It's classified
Now
as a
I'm-
rainforest.
Really back on the. Yeah, it didn't rain at all though.
That's
Oh, really? Did it
Yeah.
not? I was
Yeah,
about to
this
ask
time
that.
Of year it doesn't. Yeah, but man, now I'm super backed up with work, and
Yeah, I'm sure.
that's why I missed last week
Yeah, hey, it's okay. I understand
Yeah.
why. I mean, work
and
is
this
important.
past Monday. Yeah,
It's okay.
So, anyways.
How about you, Jackson? Is everything going?
it's fine.
Just a
about
bundle
you,
of
Jake?
excitement. I'm great. I'm wonderful. Things are good. I've just been trying to stay ahead of everything, try and wrangle you guys in here
I know.
so that we can talk.
I
Jackson,
was-
not as much.
I
I
was here
looked
Mo-
at Jackson
I
when
was
I
here
said that,
Monday
but he's actually been the
Yeah.
easiest to work with.
Yeah.
I was here Monday anyway. I got home from work
Yes,
and I
we
was like, I was gonna go over there and see them anyway. I'm gonna run over there for a few minutes.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
came and saw us working on the Galaxy, trying to get it
Yeah,
ready. That's
looks
kind of going
good.
pretty good. Yep.
Looks
Hit a
really
couple
good.
of snags, but
That's gonna happen.
life in the big city.
That's gonna happen.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's dig into it. So we missed, we haven't been to the circle track in a little while, so we didn't go. We have not been with Eugene and them the last time that we were actually on here. Eugene was on here. I don't know if you've listened or not, but that's a pretty good one.
I saw it was posted, but I haven't listened.
Yeah, it's a
I'm
pretty good
assuming
one with
was
him.
It was amazing.
He's
I bet.
yeah, Eugene. He's just he's easy to talk to, and he told us like everything from like how he got into racing and all that. So it's pretty cool. So if you guys haven't heard that, go ahead and check it out. Eugene Norton is who me and Jackson go with normally whenever we go down to the circle tracks and stuff. So that was a pretty good one. So.
That could have easily been much longer.
Oh yeah. I'm
Pretty
surprised
easy.
we got it in as good as we did. I think it was only like an hour and a half.
Oh, really?
And it
Yeah.
could have went much
Oh,
longer
yeah, it
if we
could've
had.
gone
If I
for-
had pushed even harder, I think we could have probably got like two and a half hours out of that easily.
Logan said he's like that wasn't even a podcast. He's like, that's just an interview with Eugene, and at the end you did a little podcast.
Yeah, I mean that's it. Yeah, well that's what I expected it to be, and that's pretty much. I
That's
mean, it's
what it
kind of
should-
what we
that's
did
what
with
it's supposed
Toby
to
when
be,
he first
yeah.
came on too.
Yeah,
Was that
yeah,
too? Just
that's
kind of
right.
like tell us about yourself and all that stuff. But and that's what I'd rather it be in general. You know, when somebody comes on, I want to talk to them about what's going on with them. But
Right.
so this weekend, Southeast Super Trucks are going to be at Anderson Motor Speedway down in South Carolina. We will be there. Eugene's going to be there racing the limited car, and you're at Track County this weekend, right?
Maybe. I don't know if the car's gonna be ready. Nate blew
What's
the
going-
motor up.
Oh, that's right. I heard about that. I
Yeah.
forgot.
Oh, this is news to me.
I had
Yeah.
forgotten that. Someone told me. I think Eugene told me. I
Yeah,
don't
they
think
put
you
a
told
different
me.
motor in it,
Yep.
and it blew up. Yep. He was running second.
Oh man, bad deal.
So we got to put a new transmission and motor in it, and I don't know. I won't have time to go help, so I don't know if we're gonna have it ready.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Unfortunately,
So what happened there? Do you know? Do you guys
With the
know?
motor?
Yeah, just in general. So he was running second at Tri-County.
yeah. To be honest with you, it was when I was in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just heard it grenaded, so I'm not
Okay,
really sure
yeah.
what.
I didn't know
what
if they
happened.
figured out what had happened.
They did. And he texted it to me, but I can't remember.
Gotcha. Well, that kind of sucks.
I know it does.
You guys have had
yeah.
a string of bad luck this year.
It's been really bad.
Yeah, we have to
really
be fair,
bad.
a little bit. Not like really bad luck, but just kind of like nagging annoyance.
Knock on the
bad
table real quick to
Oh, yeah.
cancel that bad juju.
That's fair. I mean, we talked about it last time we were here as well. So
Yeah.
you got to dig through the hard times to get to the good ones, I
know.
guess. But they
But
just seem to
technically-
come few and far between.
Coming up on the end here, and there's only, I think, 5 left.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
I mean, it is August. It's
I know.
literally August
So
now.
man,
That's
Oh,
crazy.
We get
Phew.
those couple of weeks behind us and the weather cool off a little. We'll go.
yeah, I know.
golfing.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
Shipwoods goes golfing. Yeah, that'll be good. That'll be a show to watch.
Yeah, it will.
But we are going to be with Southeast Super Trucks down there. I'll be spotting for Eugene. Jackson's going to be there, and kind of the normal crew for that. And also, like I said, Tri-County's running their races down there too. So make sure to get down there and check them out. If you guys haven't been to a race this year, it'd be a good time to go. It's going to be a little warm.
Will it?
I'm guessing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's August.
We have a string of nice days. Like today is nice.
Yeah, today wasn't too bad. It rained a little this evening.
It'll
but
be
yeah.
hotter down there.
Oh yeah, for sure. And
Anderson.
Anderson's going to be really hot. Yeah, but Eugene loves that track. We've had a string of bad luck there, but he really likes the track. But I'm hoping that we're going to turn some stuff around. I know he's working on the car and kind of getting some stuff straightened out, and he'd found a couple things that he thinks is going to help us out. So that'll be
Good.
exciting. Hopefully.
All right. Well, good luck.
Yeah, cool. Excuse me. So, we'll dig into some NASCAR stuff. We like the 1 week that we missed is when like all the drama happens, and we didn't talk about it at all. We weren't able to
the
talk
one
about
before
it
we-
at Pocono. Yeah. So
Yeah.
when they were up at Pocono the other day, like I said, a lot of drama, a lot of people angry. I was kind of surprised by this because Pocono is usually like a big enough track where they don't really get into
Yeah.
each other, and there's not this
Yeah.
this issue that we normally see at like short tracks and stuff. But I think the short track package is so bad at this point that they can't really pass, that they're getting mad at each other at these tracks because it's the only place that you can kind of drive like a prick and make passes and tear stuff up. Did you guys see Denny's move on Larson?
2 years in a row, right?
2 years, not on Larson,
Not
but
on Larson.
but almost identical
Yeah.
to what he did to
Yeah, I
Ross
saw
last
it.
year. What'd you think?
Well, he said that Larson could have backed out and then they could have raced for it, but I don't think you can do that.
No, if he backs out there,
back out,
he's
he's
going to blow him
gone.
down the straightaway. Yeah, he's going to
So-
be gone.
I didn't agree with that statement at all.
I mean, it's just to me, it's like it's a racing thing. Okay, whatever. If you're gonna be that way, fine, but don't be mad when somebody does it to you, because
Oh,
he has
yeah.
a tendency to get
Oh, he
pissed when
does.
somebody races
And
him
he'll
like
trash
that.
someone else.
So
for
it's
it.
like, what Alex Bowman wrecks him and he calls him a hack, and
A
he's
hack,
just about, and
yeah.
he'd won 4 races that year. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's a hack. He's no driving. He doesn't know what he's doing. Blah blah blah.
I said it about Brad a long time ago.
Who else? Chase, him and Chase. He dumps
Yeah,
Chase at
Chase,
Martinsville,
that's
and then
right,
he's like,
that's
"I didn't do it." He says he was getting run into from behind. There was it's like a car length
Yeah.
away from anybody else. So I mean, he has this history of kind of being that way.
I
I
know,
mean, it's
yeah.
fine. I mean, I'm fine with it. Like as far as like watching a race, I saw it coming. They
Oh,
started to come
yeah.
up, and I was like, "Here we
No
go again!"
doubt.
Like,
Yeah.
it's literally that Grand Theft Auto like meme. Where it's like, "Here we go again."
Yeah.
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I felt like when I
Yeah.
was watching it. So yeah, whatever.
Man, he got booed. Woo.
Oh, that was that. I literally have it written here. Denny wins to huge boos, all in
Yes,
caps.
man.
That was pretty brutal. I mean, he got some cheers when he got announced at Richmond the next week, which that's his home track, so that makes sense. But like, man, that dude is the number one booed person in the whole sport.
Oh, yeah.
Like it is
He is.
amazing
He is.
how much people hate him.
Yeah,
And
I
it's
don't
like
hate him,
everybody
but I'm
that
not a
used to
fan.
hate Kyle Busch now
Now
kind of
hates
cheers
Denny.
him, and they've just dumped it
Yeah.
all on Denny.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what
right.
it seems like.
That seems true.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it is about the guys who race at Joe Gibbs, but they do have a tendency to find real
Yeah, man.
unfriendly people.
Joe Gibbs is the most hated team,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Hendrick Motorsports, number one by far, like favorites. Joe Gibbs, driver-wise, all the way down here.
No
I would
doubt.
guess. Everybody else is kind of neutral about the others.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Seems that
Bitsky's
way.
like,
Yep.
oh, okay. Well, except for Joey. Everybody hates Joey.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot of people that really don't like him.
Which I don't really get.
I mean, I think he's fine. I mean, he did kind of show some color there at Pocono. Did
he?
Did you hear that in car? Yeah. So he got wrecked, and the safety workers come to the car to help him get the car going. He had 4 flat tires, so he's beached. He talked to that safety worker like a dog.
Really?
Oh yeah, SOB, MFer, like he really went to town on him.
Oh,
and
man.
I mean, I think it just went from he had just won the stage, he restarts and then gets wrecked. I mean, he's mad. The dude's from Connecticut. Like, I mean, no, that's. I mean, they kind of talk like
They do.
his dad like runs a trash company. I think that's how they made their money. I imagine he's probably been around some colorful language in his time. So yeah, that's not so surprising. But in general, I thought the Pocono races played out pretty interesting because it's always turns into a strategy race. You don't have that many of those anymore with the stage breaks, especially.
Yeah.
Jackson's favorite thing. With the stage breaks, it breaks it up so much that you don't normally have these like fuel strategies and someone stays out or whatever that looks like. And you always get that at Pocono, and that's why I like that track. Eugene like batched that. He was like, I hate fuel mileage races. I hate this and that. I get it. I mean, he's a racer. He's a short track racer. They don't ever get into things like that. It's not something that's interesting.
Yeah.
But, that's probably the closest thing to a Formula One race that NASCAR gets. It's basically, it's going to be a lot of green flag laps. It's going to be strategy.
Right.
And you got to kind of play it out like that. It's kind of the engineer's race.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I don't mind it. Was that it? Is that all I have from Pocono?
Probably.
Just before Pocono, SVG decided he's coming back. Did you see this?
Oh, really? No.
He's coming back into the 91 car. Shane Van Gisbergen is coming back in the 91 car at the Indy road course.
Cool.
My question to everyone is, does he do it again? Can he go 2 for 2?
Could he? Sure, why not? But I
Will he?
really
You gotta
crazy.
have
He
to-
did that.
He has already said this week that he won one of the V8 supercar races, and he said this week that he is pursuing NASCAR next year, whether it be trucks or Xfinity. I don't know. He didn't really talk. It didn't seem like he really talked about Cup because he wanted to get acclimated to oval racing.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's coming to NASCAR next year in some capacity.
That's awesome.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
To go from like no one in the NASCAR, I wouldn't say no one, a relatively unknown name in the circle track NASCAR style era, and then he comes in and wins one race, and now it's like he's coming.
Yeah.
He's gonna move everybody, his whole family over here. That's a big step.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, I think this is gonna be much more of a test of him at this Indy road course because the guys have raced this race 2 or 3 times now.
Yeah. When is that?
In August.
So it's this month?
Yeah, it's coming up. It's like the
Sweet.
17th, 18th, or whatever. Maybe the 20th.
I'm sure he does pretty well.
I think he'll do well, but I don't think he blows them away. Which, I mean, he didn't really blow them away at Chicago either, but he was just there at the end.
Oh, yeah.
But I think the guy's going to, I mean, he's definitely going to show up. I don't think he wins.
Yeah. That would be insane.
Because he's never seen this. I mean, he never seen Chicago, but no one had. So I think the playing field was completely even. Chicago was like this perfect storm for him, right? It was raining. He had raced in the wet. It was a road course, or it was a street course that he raced street courses. I mean, the cars are very similar, not at all like identical, but pretty similar. So like it was this perfect storm. No one had been on the track before. I think Indy is going to really show him what he's getting into next year if he does end up coming. And the other thing that was pretty interesting is that Richard Childress is also bringing a V8 supercar driver to the Indy road course. So this is very much this deal of when it rains, it pours. When somebody has a good idea, people start looking at it.
Yeah,
I wanted to pull up his name, Brody Kostecki. I probably said that wrong. Brody Kostecki. So he's coming to Indy also with RCR. They're going to bring a third car for that race. So that'll be pretty interesting to see. Is Shane right? He said that he had 10 buddies that he could bring with him, and they would run. They could do the same thing that he did.
Really?
So I guess we're gonna find out if those guys run 1-2.
Oh my God.
Oh, the world might explode. So any road course is definitely one to put on your calendar to
so
watch.
fun.
That's gonna be pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Richmond. Did you guys watch Richmond?
I only watched the highlights. I didn't get to watch the race.
You didn't miss much.
I heard.
I was really happy that the 17
you hate
wins.
Richmond, right?
I hate Richmond. It's my least favorite track for the reason of the race on Sunday.
Yeah,
It's Tyler's home favorite track, isn't it?
It's his home track. Yeah. My brother-in-law's home track is Richmond. Yeah. Yeah, he likes the track, I think, and I think this is completely hypothetical. I'm just guessing. He's never told me this. I think it's probably more like the memory of the track because he went there when he was growing up, little kid, kind of the first place he ever went to racing. So I think it's a sentimental thing, probably more than the actual boy, I can't wait to watch a race at Richmond. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. So that would be. I do hate this track though. It's the
boring?
worst.
Was
It's
it
so boring. There was 3 cautions the whole race, and 2 of them were stage breaks.
Oh my god!
And the third one came with 10 to go, about 10 laps to go, and it ended up with Busher and Denny starting on the front row. I was waiting to see another Denny Pocono style move, but luckily he was on the outside. Chris took the inside, and Chris pulls away.
Yeah.
This is a big deal for Roush Fenway Keselowski. These guys were already around 150 points to the good into the playoffs. But this fully seats him. He's going to the playoffs, and they have the potential to be quietly good. Yeah. Do I think they go to the Final Four? Probably not. But I could see them running into the top 8. You know
How
what I mean?
long has it been since Yates won a race? 2 years? Did he win one last year?
Who? Yates?
I mean, I'm sorry. Roush.
Roush. Chris won Bristol last year.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, remember it was the one where everybody was blowing tires and everything was kind of going crazy, and Brad and him led a bunch of, this. I think they led about 190 laps of the 400 Sunday.
Yeah. Yeah.
So their short track package is good. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited for him. I just want Brad to win so bad.
Yeah,
he runs so good and had what happened? He had a little bit of a bad pit stop, I think. Not like a terrible one, but one that set him back just enough to lose the lead, and then Chris ended up winning. But like I said, good for Chris. I think he's a good dude. It seems like, at least.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Chris Jackson?
I don't know the guy.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
He doesn't talk to him on a regular.
Oh, you don't talk to him? You don't have his number?
No, I mean,
he's from Texas. I think he farms
I wish I
fun.
did. We'd probably get along
fun?
if he's from Texas.
Yeah, I think they have a little farm that they own.
Farming is not fun.
No, it's not fun. I was about to say the same thing. I was like, I don't know.
Farming can be fun.
If you have someone else do it or something.
Yeah.
If you're the one that's in the air-conditioned cab of the tractor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that still doesn't sound fun. I'd rather drive anything else, to be honest.
I'd rather drive my Cup car if I was him.
Yeah.
Tractor.
I don't know. Tractor's a lot of fun.
Tractor does have air conditioning. That Cup car does not. It was 134 degrees. They had a thermometer in Denny's car during the whole race, and it did not go down. It was 134. And they had, like I said, they had 3 cautions. So they're out there turning... Hot. I mean, good Lord. You talk about that. I will give this track that much credit, is that it would have to be brutal.
Yeah.
To drive, because you don't get cautions. You're pretty much always in traffic because it's just small enough to where you're always passing somebody. So like, as far as that goes, it is pretty interesting. But just in general, the racing that's not my favorite. 134 degrees for
that is
3.5 hours or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
These guys are next level. I don't know how they do it.
I don't either.
I really don't. Like, you just have to pretty much take an IV, I feel like, after every race. Just get fluids in you and get ready for the next one. But yeah, so in general, Richmond not super exciting. Great for RFK. Really glad for them. I'm hoping to see them really push forward. Hopefully Brad can win. That would be awesome. Where are we going next?
Michigan.
Is it?
Yep, that's
Michigan?
right. Yep, it is Michigan.
Okay.
Yep.
And Toby won this past.
Toby won picks. Yeah, so I have no idea.
I won the week before.
Yep. Jackson.
So you won.
Jackson's up to 8.
Yeah, you picked Denny for the win. You picked the dirty driver for the win, and then Toby picked Kyle Busch, who finished 3rd. So I have to go through all of my Instagram stories and figure out how many wins everybody has.
4 or maybe 5 for the last, because I won the 3 races ago.
I'm pretty certain that Jackson is still ahead of us, because Toby has definitely been stealing the ones.
Yeah.
And you are still on that roll of winning or
being dead last, because I picked first again, don't I?
No, I think I picked first this time.
Oh, really?
I think I'll check it again. I'll check it up.
Michigan.
But I haven't checked on.
Fast track.
It's gonna be see, I think this is, to me, Michigan's like the track. I don't think that RFK has the speed.
I know, that's what I was
But
thinking.
man, wouldn't it be cool to see Brad win this?
God,
Home track.
I don't want to pick a Hendrick car, but man.
Home track. Ford with Roush, big Michigan ties. Yeah, it would be huge
So
to see them win
picking
this.
you're picking Brad?
Oh no, I'm not. I wasn't picking anybody yet.
Oh, okay.
We don't even know who Toby's pick is, unless we're just gonna ignore Toby because he doesn't like us anymore. It's not coming.
Oh wait, Toby picks first?
I don't know. Let me check.
No,
real quick.
Toby won. Toby picked
No,
last.
Toby. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here. I finished. I'll quickly find it here. Sorry.
I don't even remember who I picked.
What's this? Some breaking news here.
What happened?
Corey LaJoie has signed a multi-year contract to stay with Spire. Anyway, that's about that. I mean, no one's surprised. He wasn't going anywhere. I don't think there was really no seats for him to go to. Sorry, I'm trying to get here real quick. Oh, dadgummit. Toby wins. Man, that's exciting. Toby wins. I picked first. I had Harvick with 10th. Jackson had Truex with 7th. Wynn had Logano with 4th. And Toby had Kyle with 3rd. So...
Dang it.
Yeah. Man, you guys were close. I
Barely
think
lost it.
Diana texted me and said she thinks that this is the closest that we've all ever finished
I think so,
together.
too.
And I think that's probably true. 3rd, 4th, 7th, and 10th. So I get to pick first at Michigan. I don't even remember this race from last year, so I don't know who did well. Man, I'm really blanking here. I should prepare. If only I knew I was going to do this every time that we had this podcast. Let's see. I'm going to go with... I thought maybe if I just said it, it would come out. Chase Elliott. I'm going to pick the 9.
Yeah.
He's got. I think he has the potential to point his way in, but
Yeah.
he really needs a win.
I'm definitely going
Good
with
gosh.
Chevrolet too. What?
Good. Let's talk when we get done with picks. Let's talk about Chase Elliott. I want to hear your opinion on that. Jackson, you're next.
Oh, is he? Sorry.
Harvick.
Really?
It's not a bad pick. He has consistently been the fastest Stuart Haas by like a long shot. I think Ford is going to bring out the big guns this weekend.
Think so?
Oh, the Fords are. I mean, I think they're going to try. I'm not saying they're going to be fast.
Chevrolet's going to get her done.
I think it will. I agree with you, but I think the Fords are going to bring out their best of the best.
I
'cause
hope
this
not.
is
I hope it's Harvick.
Harvick's in a Ford, doofus.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I hope it's not a Chevrolet. I hope it's Harvick.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you. But I'm saying I think the Fords are going to bring it all. I mean, the Ford company is really big about winning Michigan. Like I said, it's their home track,
Yeah.
and they are, yeah. You're next.
Yeah, I know. Man, I hate to pick a big name, you know? I always like going for the underdog, but then
There's no
That's why
underdogs
I'm-
at Michigan.
that's why I'm losing so badly. Oh, KB.
Kyle Busch. And you said Harvick, Jackson?
Yeah.
Write that down just real quick. Harvick and Wynn has...
I watched the SRX. Did you see that?
Yes, let's talk about that too. You said Kyle Busch, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And we'll get Toby's later. Let's talk about Chase Elliott real quick.
Oh, yeah. I
What
forgot.
in the world is wrong with him?
What do you mean? He has a broke
What
leg.
has happened? He breaks his leg, and man, it's night and day difference. The dude's like he just can't put together a race.
I think he just realizes that Kyle Larson's the man to beat. I
mean-
don't know.
I don't know either. I really don't know. Any thoughts on what happens if you break your leg and you just suddenly? I mean,
Kyle
do you
Busch
think
won
he's
the
like?
championship.
Yeah,
I've never
that's
broken
right.
my
Yeah,
leg.
he broke his leg and came back and won. Yeah.
I've never broken my leg in the middle of a NASCAR season, so I'm unfamiliar with
Oh,
how the
effects of that.
effects of that would be on me.
Weird.
Yeah.
With your background, I thought you would have some input
Yeah,
there.
I don't know. He really hasn't done much.
No, but he really has it. I wonder if the guy's in pain or something. Like, is his leg hurting or is it just?
Is it the right one or the left one?
I don't know.
It's the left one, I think.
I don't remember.
think it's the left one.
Yeah.
No, you just stretch that one out. You don't even need that once you're rolling.
Except for the brakes, you gotta they left foot brake.
You don't have to though. Like you don't have.
Everyone left foot brakes.
I'm aware, but you don't
Last one
have
was
to.
And most of the time, they've got that little piece that's on the steering column that has cushion for your legs. So like to get your foot over there, I feel like would be really difficult with your right foot.
I think Harry Gant was the last one that right foot braked.
Bobby Labonte.
Oh, really?
He was
Bobby
a left foot. He was a
Labonte?
right foot breaker. Yeah, isn't that wild? Even at that time, because at the point where he was in it,
Yeah.
I don't feel like anybody was doing it except for him.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah, super weird.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know about Chase Elliott.
yeah, I don't know either. But I mean, I would really like to see him. I mean, I think I would like to see him. Your dad would like to see him bring it back. He's a big Chase Elliott fan.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe Michigan this weekend. Hopefully he'll be my pick and he'll win. SRX. We haven't talked about this, but they have run 3 races so far, and I've thought they were pretty good. I mean, really, the first 2 at Stafford,
too.
they were supposed to go up to Vermont, but there was a lot of flooding and stuff, and they ended up staying at Stafford and running 2 there. The field there is definitely lopsided. The Cup guys have a huge advantage. I would say that. I mean, everyone's been won by a Cup guy so far. It was Denny and then Ryan
Newman
and then this Kyle Busch. And Kyle, I think, is coming again this week also.
Is he? He's probably going to win it.
They're at Berlin Speedway. They were at Motor Mile. I tried to talk you guys into going, but everybody said no. They had to work. Anyway, I mean, Motor Mile is only like 3 hours from here, but it would have been really late getting home. Like it would have been like
getting daylight.
Probably
almost.
about 2 in the morning.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been that. It wouldn't have been that bad.
2:30 in the morning to get home.
I did that Sunday, and I felt terrible the entire day.
Yeah, we're getting old, man.
I mean, I would have done it. It wouldn't have bothered me. But you guys like have to go climb ladders and stuff. Yeah, it was a Thursday night.
Yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah.
But those races are definitely are really good. But the funny thing to me is this series is a for fun series.
They get butt hurt bad.
And Paul Tracy got suspended this week. Did you see that?
Yeah.
They suspended him because he was tearing up too much stuff. He has this big crash on the front straightaway, takes out a couple guys. He gets out of the car and he was like, I had my nose out there on him on Newgarden, and he just run into him, ran up into him.
Did.
And when he did, he wiped out like 4 cars. I saw Tony Stewart's interview afterwards, and he said, they said, Tony, what are you going to do about this? This is the 3rd week where you guys have had to fix up a bunch of cars. He said, well, you just stop inviting the guys that are tearing up the cars.
Yeah,
and I was like, well, he already knew what he was going to do.
Ken Schrader said he's not coming.
He's like, I'm not doing it.
Racing.
Yeah, he said, I'm not racing on a racetrack with that guy anymore. Yeah. Schrader's 60 some years old.
He is.
He sets those cars up. Did you knew that?
Really?
He's the one who races each one of them to make sure that they're equal.
That's
He's like the test driver that does
I love
that.
Ken Schrader.
Or at least he was. I don't know if he is now that he's full time, but the dude races like 100 races a year.
Yeah.
They interviewed him
awesome.
during one of the events, and they said, are you going to hit 100 this year? He said, oh, probably not. It'll probably only be like 75 or 80. I was like, good gosh,
that is crazy.
I mean, you have to be on the road constantly, and he's got 6 races with these guys, 6 weeks in a row, and he's racing in between.
Oh yeah,
he's a big dirt guy, and just what an awesome dude.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
man.
cool guy. And like I said, I know he's up in his 60s.
Yeah,
he's probably older than that.
I don't think he's in his 70s, but
you don't think so?
I think he's in. I think he's probably 63 or so, 64.
68.
He's 68 years old. Wow.
Yep.
I can't believe he's that old.
Yeah. And he's and like I said, still does pretty good. I mean, he's not up there contending for the win, but like he's had points where he's run like 3rd, 4th, and he got wrecked by Tracy a couple times.
Yeah.
I just can't imagine. I mean, Paul said that he had lost like 50 pounds to get ready for this season. He's like, I got in shape. I've been working out. I've been wanting to do better. And like, just running into everything. Like, it's not good, man. Not good. And he's an IndyCar background.
I know.
I mean, he had a tendency to run into people in the IndyCars too, from what I've seen of his history. But yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's really funny.
You think he wouldn't be the guy though to be?
Well, you would think after the past 2 seasons where he's tore up a bunch of stuff, maybe just take
they finally
half
just
a notch back.
him. It's kind of funny.
But that's pretty cool. Definitely, I don't think their ratings have been really soaring, but Thursday nights are hard, man. I sometimes forget it until like right at 9 o'clock, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about the race. And like I said, it's late, 9 o'clock on a Thursday. It's definitely not a great time slot, but it's that Thursday Night Thunder thing they
Yeah.
were bringing back with the ESPNs. I like the history of it, but it's a little bit of a tough time slot
Yeah, it
for
is.
everybody.
It is.
But those are good. So, Jackson, you want to talk about F1? Or should we just call F1 like Max's race?
Max's Sunday drive.
Max's Sunday drive. He's out there eating a sandwich, and
So they were.
Did he?
oh my gosh.
He could have. He very easily. He had. I mean, he had. what was it?
22 seconds he beat Perez by,
At
and
what-
that was him starting sixth.
Yeah.
He had a grid penalty because he had to change a gearbox. So he got the pole and then started sixth.
I think he did it on purpose, though. I think he's like, we got to do something. People think I can't pass anymore. So he started intentionally in sixth. He's like, I'm just going to break this. And then started intentionally in sixth so that he could just prove a point.
Yeah, and he was leading the race by lap 17 at Spa. Spa is it's
I
like
like
it's
Spa.
like 4.3 miles or
It's big.
something like
That's-
that.
Oh, it's big.
I thought it was small.
No,
it's big.
Spa's really big. It's like
I like Spa, though. That's
I think
my favorite.
it was a
track.
44 lap race, and he had passed up to first by the 17th lap. Yeah, he was a guy's just on another level. I mean, he at one point he said, so they bring him in, they do the pit stop, and they said, the engineer comes over and says, Max, you know that this tire degraded a bunch on your outlap. Why'd you go so fast? You need to use your head next time. And he was like, well, I was just thinking maybe I could just pull up a full pit stop on Perez and we could do another pit stop and then we could do some pit training
In the race?
in the race. He's like, so that we can, and he could have. Like he still had a 22-second gap to Perez by the end of the race, which is almost a pit stop. If they had pushed, he could have literally come in, did a pit stop, still been leading the race, and probably got fastest lap.
It's crazy.
He didn't get fastest. He did not
He
get
did not.
fastest.
Lewis got it.
Hamilton got
Lewis
fastest
got.
lap.
They pitted him because he had a pit stop, and they literally pitted him with one lap to go just so that he could have a shot at fastest lap.
And he got it.
And he got it. I mean, that's pretty common if you've got that spare, if you've got enough time between you and the guy behind you to do that. But the funny thing is like how him and his engineer interact with each other. They were like this old married couple. Because he said that. He's like, well, I was thinking maybe we could just pull out a pit stop and we do some pit training. And he goes, not today, Max. just like, no, we're not going to do that.
You could see him. He was watching it like this. Like it showed him at one point. He was just like, he's just lightly shaking his head with his fingers and his jaw. Just
Well, because like I know, like surely that they're worried about the FIA being like, what are these guys doing? Because
Yeah,
like
no
if Max
joke.
is like so just like
Whatever, let's practice pit
he's up
stops.
here just like he's bird watching while he's
Yeah.
driving. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know how you maintain it. I think we've talked about it before, but these guys have the best engine in the best car with the best driver, with the best pit crew, with the best engineers. How can you sustain the perfect A1 level of everything? How long is that?
8
How-
races in a row.
Yeah, he's won 8 in a row. They've won, I think, 14 or 15 races in a row. Red Bull has, which is
they've won
the
the whole.
record
They won
now.
the whole season.
They have won the entire season. That's going back into last season.
But Max finished second once because
Twice. Perez won
Twice?
2 races.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Perez has won 2 races, but
one of them Max could have won. Perez wouldn't let him around him.
yeah, they. I think Red Bull has double the points of the second place constructor, which I think is Mercedes. I think they have 150 points, and they have almost 300. Like I think I read an article that was like if everything goes right, that Max can wrap up the championship with 6 races left in the season. If he continues on finishing first or second or whatever that
He
ends
will.
up looking like, and he
Jeez.
has every reason to. Do you think that Red Bull can make it a perfect season?
They're
Don't
over
see
halfway
why
Reason
there.
not.
to. I'm just curious. I mean, like, surely at some point something breaks.
Right, that's
you know
what
what I
I
mean?
think.
Like to go an entire season to win. It's 24 races, 23 races this year, I think. To go an entire season and win every single race, whether it be with Perez or Verstappen, seems highly improbable. But
Did you watch the sprint race?
yeah, I watched everything. Yeah.
Max pits on the first lap of the sprint race. It's like, well, comes out, wins the sprint race.
Yeah, but he was starting on the pole. To be fair,
Yeah,
but no, he came in that second lap. Perez came in on the first lap, and then Max because Perez was
Either way,
leading
it's
the
an
race.
11 lap race, and he
Yeah.
hits that early and then comes back out. And
Well, everyone did. It
Goes
was
around on a wet track.
raining, so it was
was
everybody
so
needed to
wet.
go to the intermediates. But
Wow.
that's the other thing that I find so weird to me, and I don't know enough about the different tire compounds and everything to kind of like fully talk about this. But like, it was raining like crazy.
It was wet.
really, really wet. They go out on the full wets. They drive like one lap, and they're like, "Oh, we need intermediates." And I'm like, the track was super, super wet, and they go to this intermediate tire. So I'm like, what's the point of even having this wet tire? Like,
Yeah.
just put them on the intermediates and make them have to suffer through the first lap. You know, possibly have somebody make a mistake, and then, you know, let them
Yeah.
just keep going. I don't see any reason to make a wet weather tire because clearly the FAA has no interest in starting these guys in these really wet conditions. They're going to wait it. They're going to postpone it. They're going to run them under caution and let them dry the track some. So just don't even make one. Just make the wet weather tire the intermediate tire. You know, I don't understand the reason for it at all at this point. But I still love watching the races. The race behind Red Bull is great. Like now that McLaren's into it, you basically have McLaren, Aston Martin, and Mercedes all really kind of vying for that second position. And Ferrari sometimes, if they keep their head about them, they're kind of vying for that third, you know, second best team or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that race is really good. You don't really kind of know how that's going to go. McLaren is, they're really showing up. Like I don't know if you've ever seen a team go from so bad to this good this quickly. I don't know if I never remember it happening like that. It's a pretty good season.
Well, Alpine did they get third in the sprint?
Yeah, third. Yeah,
I saw that. I was like, oh.
yeah. And those guys fired their team principal and the head engineer that weekend. They were like, okay, after this weekend, we're leaving. So things are not going good over at Alpine.
They usually are not.
No. Well, I mean, they had a pretty good season last year, and then it just kind of all fell off the rails when Alonso left. Well, guys, this one was a short one this week. I don't feel like we had
What
that
is
much
it?
to talk
I was
about.
gonna
We're only
say.
36 minutes
Wow.
in. Yeah, it's a pretty short one.
So,
But I think we've kind of covered everything that, in general, that's going on. Let me double check my notes real quick. Oh, gosh. We're talking about Formula One. Daniel Ricciardo's back. We completely didn't even talk about this.
how'd he do?
So, he's done okay.
Alpha Tauri is not a powerhouse, so
Well, I mean, it's Red Bull's second team. You know, it's their feeder team.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
yeah.
But let me run this past you. When, from what I understand, what happened was they didn't like this Nick DeVries that was in the car. He had wrecked a bunch, hadn't scored any points this season, had a terrible season for 10 races. Daniel is part of the Red Bull. He's the reserve driver. He's been going to the simulator a lot, working on trying to get better and all this stuff. He goes and does a test at Silverstone. Christian, the team principal for Red Bull, calls the head guy Helmet at Red Bull and says, Daniel's doing good. Helmet hangs up with Christian, picks up the phone, calls Nick DeVries and says, you're fired. Fires him and puts Daniel in the car. Like, that's how ridiculously
Golly.
cutthroat that whole thing is. I mean, you think about the money that they're dealing with. You don't have the
you can't
time
right.
to, like, you have to make decisions like that fast. But, like, Red Bull's notorious for making these decisions really, really quickly. I mean, they cut Alex Albon, they cut Pierre Gasly out of the top car, and then finally got Perez in there, and he's been holding on by the hair of his teeth. But like, that's brutal, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I heard it and I was like, geez, like, man, he only had 10 races in the car. You know, they call him up, put him in the car for 10 races. He didn't perform. You're out. Another guy. Someone that had already raced for him and raced for Red Bull at one point. He left, you know, and now they're bringing him back. So I don't know. I hope that means that they see some good potential in Daniel, and hopefully they've got some upgrades in that car that they can let him perform. I just hope this isn't like a death. If Daniel doesn't perform in this car, he's done. He'll leave Formula One. He'll be gone forever. I don't think there's any opportunity for him to go anywhere else because he's bounced around so much. He started at Red Bull. He started at AlphaTauri, actually, or whatever they were called at the time. Ends up at Red Bull, then kind of goes down to Renault, and then jumps over to McLaren, and now he's back over here at Red Bull. I just don't think he has any chance of surviving another jump if he doesn't perform.
Where did he finish?
I think he finished 13th in the first time that he was back in the car, and then I think this past weekend the car, something was wrong because you could tell he was dropping pretty quickly. So I think he finished like 17th or 18th. Mm-hmm. So not like stellar performances, nothing like crazy out of the blue, but he did outperform Yuki in that first race. So that's he better perform. Clearly, he doesn't have long, or they will call you and cut you.
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
But anyway, all right, guys. Thanks so much for joining. It's been a good one. It's good to be back.
Yeah,
I think we're kind of having to knock the rust off. I feel like we got rusty. We've been gone too long.
We have, yeah.
But next week, we'll definitely be talking about the races in Anderson. Hopefully, winning them, get the car to go to Tri-County. If you don't go to Tri-County, you should come down to Anderson.
I might try to do that,
That'd be
yeah.
cool. If you guys don't go, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Now Wynn's like, I don't want to go to Tri-County.
Yeah, come on down. But if you guys, like I said, if you guys haven't checked out a circle track race this year or any race, you should definitely come down and go down to Tri-County if they end up running, or when they run down there, and then come down and check out the Southeast Super Trucks. Should be a pretty good race. I think they I saw that they're bringing like a different, it's not the vintage cars, they're racing the vintage cars, but they're also racing like this classic series.
Oh, really?
And like the logo has like a 55
yeah, I saw
Chevy in
something
it.
about that.
So I don't really know what those cars are going to
I
be,
don't
but
know either.
should be interesting. Maybe I get to spot another vintage car. That'd be cool if I can get another win in the vintage class.
That's awesome,
That
man.
was a lot of fun.
If you get 2 wins in vintage class, Eugene's going to get a vintage car. He's going to be like,
Great.
"Hey, enough of this late model."
Enough of this. I'm going to the vintage class.
That'd be cool.
Those guys are having fun.
They are.
They were having a
I
absolute
wouldn't mind
blast.
having one. If I'm only going to run a few races a year, I wouldn't mind just having a vintage car.
It was cool. You weren't here when we talked about that, were you? When I got that
I
win?
heard that
yeah.
you did.
Yeah,
but
it was a lot of fun. But I was telling those guys afterwards that I went back there and was giving back his radio, and they were back there talking and laughing and just having the best time. Like it's like they just won the Daytona 500. Those guys had just finished racing the biggest
That'd
race.
be awesome.
And like they were just having fun. And I told Eugene, I was like, everyone needs to go watch those guys after a race.
Yes, they do.
And like take notes, because that is what it's about.
Right.
Like it should not be about looking for a fight and looking for all this different stuff. You were there to have a good time. And those guys were having a good time.
We should get one.
I was also the only spotter on the spotter stand, which was terrifying.
What?
That's super
I
scary.
thought you had to have one.
I thought so too. There was no official and there was no spotters.
Oh my God,
I was up there and he says, "Hey man, it's kind of starting to rain. You might want to let the official know." And I was like, "Well, I would if there was one here." So it's just me.
What in the world? I thought you had to have a spotter.
I thought
up
so
there
too.
to
I know
start the race.
I know at the limited and on the trucks
you
that
do.
is for sure. You absolutely have to have, or they will park you. But apparently on the vintage class, maybe not as much. Maybe
they
it's
didn't have
vintage because they
radios
didn't
back
have
then, I
spotters
guess.
back then, you
Yeah.
know? So I don't know. It was a little
man.
intimidating. We went 3 wide like 3 different
Oh
times.
my gosh.
And no spotters.
And there's other guys that didn't have a spotter.
I was like 3 wide middle. We were
That's
it was
not
pretty
where you want to
crazy.
be.
Yeah. But anyway, all right, I'm trying to close this thing out. I'm going to close it out this time. Thanks for joining Shift Points. Make sure to follow us on social media and stuff. Been trying to put up some good stuff there. And check us out each week. Make sure to hit the subscribe button when it pops up in the center. That's very, very important. And it is the #1 way that you can help us without spending a single penny. So we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for joining.
Cool. Right on.